Following a poor performance, Binotto will leave Ferrari at the end of the year. This means Binotto is a free agent on the market for other teams, and Mercedes would be interested in the Ferrari veteran. Will Binotto be accepted in Mercedes? Could he help them with their technological needs? Mercedes team manager Toto Wolff has provided his reaction to rival Mattia Binotto's upcoming resignation from Ferrari, telling the Beyond the Grid podcast that he hung on to his spot for longer than I thought. However, with their early title push fading due to strategic missteps, unreliability, and drive errors, Binotto and Ferrari will shortly split ways, with Alfa Romeo's Frederic Vasseur filling in. Want to know all about Mattia Binotto? Want to find out what happened to his career? Wait until the end and I guarantee you won't end the video disappointed. Before we start, we need to know that Binotto was elevated from Chief Technical Officer to Ferrari team principal at the start of 2019. He supervised the squad's return to competitiveness under the 2022 rules reset, but has now resigned and will depart the firm at the conclusion of the year. It's widely believed that he was forced out by Ferrari, where he had worked for his whole career while in charge of their different teams, after it became clear that the company intended to replace him. Wolff and Binotto didn't get along well. Most notably, there were concerns regarding the legitimacy of Ferrari's engine during Binotto's first season as team manager, which resulted in an FIA investigation and a private settlement. Due to regulation changes brought on by this event, Ferrari's engine performance suffered greatly in 2020, leading to 2 winless seasons until a return with the new technical standards in 2022. But when operational errors and a lack of development kept Ferrari from realizing Ferrari's potential as a serious title challenger, Binotto came under increasing criticism. Mattia and I had our moments. It's no secret over these many years, Wolff said in an interview for F1's official Beyond the Grid podcast. But in a way, we consolidated that in 2022. We were in a much better place. It was always clear that he was under tremendous pressure. Being a team principal at Ferrari, you better have a good contract for your exit. And now probably the unavoidable happened, but he held on to it longer than I thought. Since his F1 debut, Wolff has faced 4 different Ferrari team captains. Initially with Williams, and then starting in 2013 with Mercedes throughout the V6 turbo hybrid era. As team leaders, Stefano Domenicali, Marco Mattiacci, and Maurizio Arrivabene were all sacked. The venerable Italian team has received criticism for not allowing scene management more time. And Wolff claims that Ferrari is under more pressure than any other team. "You're representing Ferrari, you're representing the whole country," said Wolff. "And they ride you up, they ride you down, but with brutality." So yeah, certainly as team principal of Ferrari there is more pressure. Probably as an Italian, even more. Because as a foreigner, you just don't read the news. But as an Italian, clearly, you're in the firing line. Wolff believes that due to Binotto's relationship with the team, he'd never be permitted to join Mercedes, but he thinks that because he knows Formula 1 down to an ounce, he would be of interest to other teams. Who would take his position in Ferrari? Although it's the most fascinating position in Italy, Wolff said he couldn't understand why the team hasn't been able to locate an Italian with the strength and intellect to withstand the company's unique requirements, since Jean Todt, who oversaw Ferrari's most prosperous period, retired following the 2007 season. The only managers the team has had are from Italy, with numerous F1 executives, including the head of McLaren, Andrea Seidel, rumored to have been approached by Ferrari but turned down the role. Fred Vasseur, the current CEO and team principal of Sauber, is widely viewed as the potential replacement for Binotto. Wolff thinks that the future Ferrari team principal must be familiar with Formula 1 and cannot be hired from outside the sport. It's such a niche where the sports, the regulations, the governing body, the commercial rights holder, the competitors, all of us basically locked in this paddock cage, said Wolff. You need to be politically astute. It's a very niche specialist environment, and the more you know about the sport, the better it is. But you don't want to be a one-trick pony. You can be a good racing manager and not understand anything that's going on commercially outside in the world. Wolff, who owns a third of the Formula 1 team, is completely focused on managing Mercedes. He did, however, claim that if the position had been available 10 years prior, he would have accepted it. Everybody who says he wouldn't have been interested in being team principal of Ferrari just simply doesn't tell the truth, said Wolff. I have to pinch myself that Daimler gave me the opportunity of becoming a managing partner and co-shareholder. It's something that I feel tremendously proud of, but equally, if Ferrari would have come around the corner, miraculously offered me such a position, it would have been the same. So, returning to Wolff's remarks on Binotto and joining Mercedes, anyone who thought Mercedes may be a decent location for him to go after quitting Ferrari's Formula 1 team has already been dissuaded, including Mattia Binotto. It's impossible to forecast where a Ferrari lifer would go after Maranello, but Binotto has a wide variety of skills that would be attractive to many F1 teams. He's a recognized engineer who rose to the highest technical post at Ferrari before becoming team principal. Wolff discussed the changes in a recent Beyond the Grid interview, and while he noted some disagreements with Binotto during their time together in the paddock, he emphasized the great pressure that comes with the chief Ferrari post. I think Mattia and I had our moments, it's no secret over these many years, but in a way we consolidated that in 2022. We were in a much better place. But it was always clear that he was under tremendous pressure, Wolff told the podcast host Tom Clarkson. Being a team principal at Ferrari, you'd better have a good contract for your exit. Now, probably the unavoidable happened, but he held on to it longer than I thought. When asked if there is greater pressure at the Scuderia than any place else in F1, Wolff said, absolutely. You're representing Ferrari, you're representing the whole country. They ride you up and ride you down, but with brutality. Certainly team principal of Ferrari, as an Italian even more, because as a foreigner you just don't read the news. But as an Italian, clearly you're in the firing line. Wolff was unquestioned if, despite the aforementioned contrast between the two, Binotto might find a job at Mercedes or their high-performance powertrains branch in the future. He responded, no, I think there was too much porcelain broken between us over the last few years that this would be impossible. With the other teams, I can't say. Certainly, Mattia understands F1 inside out, and maybe he finds a role in another team. Aside from Binotto's future, Wolff conceded to the attractiveness and allure of Ferrari, saying he would have been tempted to join the Scuderia if the chance had arisen prior to his taking on his job at Mercedes in 2013. Well, everybody says he wouldn't have been interested in being team principal of Ferrari just simply doesn't tell the truth. I've had to pinch myself until today that Daimler gave me the opportunity of becoming a managing partner and co-shareholder, something that I feel tremendously proud of. But equally, if Ferrari would have come around the corner and miraculously offered me such a position, it would have been the same. Mercedes suffered a setback at the start of the 2022 technical regulations, while Ferrari regained its race-winning form. That means after a fierce rivalry in 2019, Wolff and Binotto have never met again. This may have contributed to Wolff and Binotto's apparent progress towards a more friendly relationship this year. But the fallout from 2019 was so terrible that there's still too much animosity between the two of them for them to ever work together. Given this, it would astonish us to see Binotto working for Mercedes. But stranger things have happened in the Formula One world, and let's not overlook the fact that Binotto is a technological genius. Therefore, it is reasonable to anticipate that the squad that chooses to sign Binotto will significantly develop technically. He may transfer to a group like Alfa Romeo. He may even become the team principal. The top candidate for Ferrari to choose as their new team principal is Fred Vasseur, the current team principal. Where do you anticipate Mattia Binotto to be in a year? Or will he likely be unemployed for some time? If you'd like to see Binotto working at Mercedes, let us know your opinions in the comment section below. Your opinions on the subject would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to be a P1 in Formula One news, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.